Can you tell us what you recall as being your first professional booking?
Oh, my first professional booking. Well, I did commercials and stuff when I was a kid, but but I didn't really know what I was doing. I mean, I just was doing them. But I booked a movie called Grace of My Heart, which is an Allison Anders movie. And I was in a play reading company. Like a play reading company, a play reading group. Basically, it was a group of actors that in LA, when I first started out, that would just meet once a week and read a play. We would just to be creative and have fun. And one of the people in the group was a casting director, and he was casting this movie, and so he got me to audition for it, and I booked it. And it was basically just one scene, and I just cried in it. I was Crying Girl was the name of my character. I do a lot of crying. It's one of my hits. And yeah, I was a crying fan. One of the main characters, I think it was the Matt Dillon character. He dies in the movie, spoiler alert. And Ileana Douglas was in the scene I was in. And it was wonderful. It was totally a beautiful experience. I auditioned. My audition was with Allison Anders, the director, right away. She couldn't have been nicer. She wrote me a card on my first day when I got on set. It was only a day. It was just such a fun, beautiful experience. And so that was my first job. And it completely set wrong expectations.
You're like, wow, this is going to be perfect and amazing. Yeah. Our guest last week, Jacob Boos, actually booked he got an agent, and his very first audition he booked, and it was just all this new stuff coming at him. And then he was very nervous on set and told the story last week. You guys can check out episode 126 with Jacob. And his first experience was nerve-wracking on set. So he was a little spooked after the first one.
It is nerve-wracking. Yeah, but you don't know what you don't know, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. The nerve-wracking part of this experience was before I even did the shoot, I got a call saying that Allison Anders wants you to sing a song, and so they were going. And I'm like, I'm not a singer, and people say that, but I'm really not a singer. Like, no. But they were like, no, she really wants you to, like, I guess they wanted an authentic person to sing. And so they booked like this with this kind of, I always forget his name, but he used to be married to Joni Mitchell. He was a very hot established producer. So we had to like go to his place in Venice, and we sang this original song. And by the end of the day, I was like, maybe I'm not such a bad singer. I really did not use it. So that was a little humbling. That was humbling. But yeah, I guess I feel like every time you get a job, well, a couple things. Like Ron Howard said that the auditions are the job and the bookings are the vacation, which I think is true. Mm-hmm. I think our job as actors is auditioning. And when you get the job, it's like, relief. In some ways, there's always the feeling of like, I want to, I don't want to fuck up, but I don't also want to make an impression, but I also don't want to be obnoxious. It's all these levels. And it depends on where you are. It's such a hierarchical environment, really. Let's be honest, like if you're a day player, or if you're a lead, or if you're a series regular, if you're recurring, you know what I mean? You sort of have a pecking order. So it's always good to be aware of that. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it always feels like every job is like always a bit like, okay, let's find out what this is going to be like. And it's scary, right? It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, they're all different. That is one of the fun things about being an artist and an actor and performer is we never really know what's coming around the corner. And when something does come around the corner, we're not really we don't know what we're in for until it's happening. And you're like, oh, this is what this is. Then you finish it and it's on to the next one, and that one's gone.